Okay, hello everybody. Hey, this is Mario with XPPen Podcast. Today we have a very talented artist joining us for our third episode here of the XPPen Podcast. He is an artist who does animation and he seeks to entertain his audience. He's got over, I think, 600K right now on TikTok followers, and he is an exceptional artist. His animation is very well crafted. You should definitely check him out. You can find him by Ants and you can see right there his Twitter handle, his TikTok handle, sorry. So let's jump and get to know Ant more personally, and he'll be showing us today a little bit of how to get started with animation, his journey as an artist, and share a little bit of his experience. There we go. Hey, Ant.
Hey, what's up?
How's it going, man? Good to have you here.
Pretty good.
Okay, cool. So you're the first animator we ever invite, and
Right.
yeah, we do a lot of. I mean, you're an artist too, right? I mean, but
Yes.
yes. Okay, awesome.
That's how I start out. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So we have a couple questions, and I guess we'll start with some questions, and then we'll see if you can show us a little bit of animation.
Absolutely.
Okay. We have your animation right there. You're drawing an eye right now, some faces.
Yeah. I just scribbled a couple of things.
Okay. So let's tell us a little bit about your journey. When did you first realize you wanted to pursue art?
Um, I've always been interested in like drawing and stuff ever since I was little. And my sister was a big like influence for me. She's also an artist. She
Okay.
like has I'm actually in her room right now and she's got like dozens of paintings up like all over the walls and stuff.
Okay.
And I don't know, I just kind of continued drawing. I started off with like traditional like art like in sketchbooks and stuff. I'd get super excited whenever I got like any money because I would just be like, okay, I'm gonna take this money and I'm gonna spend it on like art supplies and things like that. And I got my first tablet and I started animating and that's kind of where it took off from there. I just started going from there.
Okay. Nice. So it runs in the family, I guess.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. And how has social media, especially TikTok, impacted your career as an artist?
Um, I'd say significantly, like definitely significantly.
Mm.
Um, I don't, I don't know. It kind of just it makes me excited to kind of like make new like art pieces and kind of like new animations and stuff and just put them out there because I love seeing people's comments and seeing how happy like how like people laughing and how happy they get when they see my stuff.
Okay. Cool.
Mm.
Nice. When did it started to take off, the TikTok and stuff? How long have you been doing it for?
I think I started back in 2020, I want to say,
Okay.
because it was during the pandemic. It was like right when it started. I was already like wanting to make animations.
Cool.
I hadn't gotten a tablet yet, but I just saved up enough money to get one. And it just so happened that around that time the pandemic started happening, and I was like, okay, now I have a lot of free time to kind of just sit at home and start like drawing on my iPad and making animations and stuff. And it started out as like for fun and stuff, and I posted a couple of like time lapse like art videos. I think it was like 9. I think I made like 9 videos, and then like the ninth one was a animation, and it was like a on TikTok. It was like a so it had like the sound from like The Office, and it was Dwight talking about his perfect crime or whatever, something like that. And I animated it, and I put it up there, and then people loved it, and it blew up, and that's kind
Nice.
of like where it got started.
Okay. Did like so you had one that blew up, and like from there were like the following videos, did they also perform really well, or was it like
Yes. So like some of them did, and then some of them didn't.
mm,
But for the most part, after that, they kind of just started performing well, which was nice.
nice? Okay. And okay, so I really want to know like how do you come up with the ideas for your animations? Like I mean, I guess there's a bunch of ways, right? But how
Yeah.
do you usually go about like your creative process?
Um. Sometimes I'll just like kind of like daydream or listen to a song, and it gives me different ideas in a way.
Oh,
I don't know. I just kind of
cool.
like if it's a TikTok sound, I'll come across a TikTok sound and I'm like, ooh, this is kind of funny. I have a good idea for this.
Okay.
I'll make an animation about it. And sometimes if I want, if like I'll have like an original idea, I'll just be like
Mm,
sitting outside and I'll be thinking about it. And I'll be like, this seems like it could be a pretty cool idea. I'll just make it real quick. I'll drop like a little sketch, kind of like a concept idea.
mm-hmm.
And then if I like it, I like looking at it on paper, I'll be like, okay, I can make this into a video.
Nice.
And then I'll continue from there.
Okay, I see. That's cool. That's
Mm.
funny. Like, and what kind of music do you listen to? Because I guess that,
Ooh,
yeah.
what kind of music do I not listen to?
Oh, right. Okay.
So like a lot, like basically everything.
Okay.
Like I'll listen to classical music, I'll listen to pop, country,
Right.
just basically depends on what kind of like what song it is. I'll just like it. My taste changes a lot.
Right.
Kind of varies.
That's cool. Because if you get ideas like that, then like
Mm.
your ideas will
Very
be
flexible.
right. Will be very varied
Mm.
if
Yeah.
you're inspired by different songs and different music.
'Cause a lot of people have like a lot of different tastes, and if it's sometimes they'll suit other people's tastes, and sometimes they'll.
Okay. And can you tell us about any like particularly like challenging projects or yeah, challenging things along the way that have happened?
Um, Time management is
Ah,
yeah, because I I was going to school and I
mm,
needed a job at the same time
okay,
that I was like, doing all this. So, like, I currently have a job. I work at a restaurant,
okay,
and kind of like finding free time to make more animations. Because like you'll see, like if you go back into my TikTok page, you'll see that there was like a time where I was like uploading kind of consistently, like more consistently than I am now. And then all
okay,
of a sudden, there's a point where I was like kind of just not. And that was when I had to like get a job and start going to like school and stuff. And
I see.
well, not start going to school. I was always going to school, but I had the job and school,
Right,
and I needed to get a car and just kind of all that stuff.
okay. Yeah, so time management. That's
Mhm.
the main thing, I think. What do you think are like some of the misconceptions? Like perhaps people think the hard part is the craft itself, but the most difficult part is something else, or
I would say that if you enjoy the craft,
mm,
like if you're somebody who enjoys art or enjoys drawing, then it probably won't be the hardest part for you. But if you want to like just if you want to do it just to do it, and like you don't enjoy doing it
right,
for whatever reason, that will probably be a lot more
right,
difficult for you. Because
yeah,
like for
but
me, I enjoy
okay,
doing art and stuff. So it kind of like
Right. You already
Yeah.
enjoyed it from before you were
Yeah.
it took off.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of just like my hobby. It's kind of just something
Right.
I love to do.
All right. So right now it's not your full-time income, it's not your full-time business per se, right?
No, I'm I'm trying to get
Okay.
it there, but it is not yet at that point.
Okay. But it could very well be.
It
Like,
very yeah, it very
yeah.
well could be.
Do you
Honestly, I feel like if I,
say?
oh, you go ahead.
Okay. Now, I was gonna ask like if you take commissions, so like a company comes and say, "Hey, can you do us an animation for us?"
Yes.
Okay.
Depends on like, obviously like the asking price and the company and like what they want me to do and stuff. But yeah,
Right.
for the most part.
Okay. And all right. And do you have like your own website to for people for you to reach out and stuff like that?
I don't have my own website, but I do have an Instagram that people can reach out to me on. I have a I actually don't remember if I put my email up on my account, but
Right.
I do have an email.
Okay. Yeah. So it will take you some time, but I'm sure you can get there where you can make this your full
Yeah.
time. Would you want it though? Would you want it
Mm.
to be your full time? And
Absolutely.
yes, okay,
Absolutely. Yeah. I would love to just have this be my job.
okay, nice. Yeah, I would say you're in a really good position. You can get there in I don't know, maybe
Mm.
sooner than you think.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think if I had more time to just like focus solely on this, I'd probably get there pretty fast.
Right.
But it's just a matter of like, time, just kind of working my way there.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I guess focus on the activities that will get you there.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think is like the most challenging part to make that shift, let's say, to make that leap of, going from a stable job where you can get an income every month to saying like, no, I'm just gonna eat what I hunt, like they say.
Um, you mean like what's the most difficult part of like transferring over, kind of like stopping what I'm doing now and then getting on to
Right. Yeah.
um I'd say probably there's probably like a really common answer, but probably money. Probably like
Hmm.
um income, like people coming and getting like business and stuff like that.
Right. Okay.
Mm.
Like having already enough clients that, you know, will make that leap kind of easier, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. That's really cool, man.
Thank you.
Like, let's try to shift gears now for a bit and let's jump
Mm.
into your studio over there. Uh, you're using
Mm.
Krita, right?
I am using
Okay.
Krita.
Okay. Cool. And so Krita is only for animation, or is it both animation and illustration, everything?
It's a so it's a very it's for like it's basically an art program,
Okay.
but you can use it for animation. It has like an animation like timeline, and it has the necessary features for animation.
Okay. And this is
So
what
it's really good
you
at what it does.
okay. And this is what
Mm.
you use for your TikTok animations.
It is what I use now. So I
Okay.
used to use my iPad when I like first started off. I was using my iPad, and I would use Procreate,
Okay.
and because Procreate has like a little feature where you can animate, and
Right.
I would just stitch the videos together. So there's only like a certain amount of frames you can have in Procreate though, so you can't make it as long as you want it to be.
Oh.
So like I usually just make like 10-second segments of the video, and then I'd stitch them together in like another program.
Right. Okay.
But with Krita, I can just make the animation whole and then export it out.
Okay. All right. Cool. And well, before we because I want to ask you about like the how do you for a beginner, what would they need to like how to get started and showing something like a simple animation and stuff. But before that, like I
Mhm.
wanted to ask you about your animation on your TikTok. You have a character, right? Because I see
Yeah.
there's like something like a story going on. I don't know if you're releasing like uh, episodes that move from, you know.
I am. I
Yeah.
started a. I've only gotten out like two so far,
Okay.
but I've been like I've been making like content for a while, and I
Yeah.
decided I was like, hey, I kind of want to make like I had an idea for like a little mini series type of thing,
Right.
and so that's kind of what I'm working on right now. So there's two videos that are connected to each other, and I think it's like my last two. I
Okay.
think those are the ones.
All right. And those are kind of like you have a plan for like your that's gonna be like a series, right? Sort of.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a little mini series
Okay.
with like characters and stuff.
All right. And that's your main character. Is that based on you? Is that based on like a character you created?
It's kind of he actually is. He's not based on me, but he's based on a character that I created when I was like 8.
Okay.
I made like my own kind of like character. I was always into like comic books and stuff like that, and so I made my own character.
Okay.
And over the years, he kind of like developed and he's different now. But yeah, he's kind of based off of that. Kind of
Okay.
based off of character, So
Do you have a name for this guy?
I actually don't.
Okay.
I just have like the look. I've never really had to name him, so it's like
Okay.
I guess Ant. Um,
Okay. Okay. He's kind of cool. Like I love that your animation, like I said, it's sort of more like really well done in terms of anatomy.
mhm.
Yeah, I see like most animation on TikTok that I find is more like a ball or something like a very simple drawing, and it's just
Yeah.
more based on the sound and but your animation is kind of it looks like an anime cartoon sort of, right? Like
Yeah, I like the aesthetic feel.
yeah.
I was really into like realistic drawings as I was growing up. So if
Okay.
like when I started making cartoons and stuff, it kind of like bled in a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of make my own style.
And even the movements that you do, they're kind of I don't know, yeah, very realistic.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's kind of like what you would see on I don't know, Cartoon Network, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, they're pretty cool.
it is
Yeah,
kind of mm.
yeah, and I love the plot twist here at the end of this one, where he sees the girl kissing the other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one that's gonna be the miniseries. It's gonna
Okay.
be that's the one I'm working with.
Okay,
That's the one.
that's pretty cool. All right,
It's gonna be
let's.
like
It's gonna be like what?
saying like he's gonna end up like still being alive and stuff, and
Oh, all
it's
right.
gonna go on into a whole story. But
Okay. Nice. The the hero is born there.
yeah.
Okay. The hero or the anti-hero? We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So take us through your Krita and let's all
Mm.
like let's do the classic bouncy ball, which I mean, I've seen like how to begin animation, right? And I think everybody shows you this as a first starter, and
Mhm.
I guess there's a good reason why. And if
Yeah.
you might, yeah, would you like to explain to us like why did he do that and like how did we can do that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So the bouncy ball is kind of like the quickest example. So it's the quickest while having the most like animation principles in it.
Uh-huh.
So it's a really good reference to use when you're teaching people how to animate. So like I read a book a long time ago, and it was like the 12 principles of animation, and they were like talking about I can't remember all of the principles, but I know a lot of them. I use them like all the time in like my animations and stuff. but a couple of them in the bouncing ball like example is that so like you have a bouncing ball. I think we make a line first. Let's go back. How do I go over here? That's good. And then say like the ball is on its path. Path is like this. It goes, it bounces, it bounces so that it gets smaller. The first thing is that as it bounces, it kind of loses energy, so the bounce gets smaller and smaller as it goes down. With animation, you're trying to like replicate real life, so you take a lot of like physical things that happen in the real world, but you'd kind of like exaggerate them a little bit. So when the ball hits the ground after it's at a high point, like say it's up here, and it falls, it kind of like goes that way. When it hits the ground, it stretches, squash and stretch is what they call it.
Okay.
It's like when it hits the ground, it squashes, and then when it bounces back up, it stretches, kind of
Right.
like that. When it's in the air, there's like no gravity going against it. There's no forces going against it, so it's kind of just in its full glory.
Right. Makes
And
sense.
yeah, and as it goes into the air, it slows down. So let's start animating.
Okay.
Boop, 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 boop. Let's get all that. That's the first frame. So like here's the first frame. Ball starts up here. And then we'll go to we'll animate by twos. We'll go by twos. And
By twos, is that like faster or slower?
so like if you have like a frame rate right here, I have a frame rate of 24 frames per second. And if you want to like because if I animate super close together, like say I did this, wait, and like all super close together, and I play the animation. Oh, okay. Oh gosh, it's just not listening to me today. And it goes super fast. So the less frames you have, the faster it goes, and the more frames you have, the more you have like to space out. If it's like there's only this like amount of frames, it's gonna go really fast and it's gonna look unnatural and stuff. Because since it's going by like 24 frames, that's fast enough that I can like animate by twos, and it will look better. Let's go back. All right, second frame. And as it falls, it kind of like stretches. It's going faster. I guess this is an opportunity to also talk about another thing, is like distortion lines, kind of like
Oh,
giving the effect of going faster.
right.
If you have like a frame that goes by really fast, like say like an object's moving really fast, and there's only one frame that it's in, or like a short amount of frames, you add like distortion lines and make it kind of look like it's going faster.
Right.
It's not going to be there for long. It kind of gives the effect, kind of like tricks the viewer into thinking that it's like
Yeah.
it's kind of like a cool thing.
Yeah, I see that those are used a lot
Yeah.
in like comic books, for example, where there's no animation, but those kind of
Yes.
represent movement, right?
Yeah. And also, if you animate by twos, it kind of like gives you space to draw in between the keyframes. So keyframes are like the main, kind of like the main drawings, like the ones that'll be on screen the longest. Well, not necessarily the ones that'll be on the screen the longest, but the ones that like your attention is drawn to the most,
Oh,
the ones that you notice most.
yeah.
You draw the keyframes, and then you do the in betweens, which is kind of just the movement from one part to another. It's the easiest way to animate. I used to animate like literally one frame at a time, and that was crazy.
Is there
That was
such
weird.
thing like by fours, like, you know, every
Yes.
every
Yeah.
4 frames?
hmm So like it's really flexible to however you want to do it. You can
Yeah.
start right here, then go all the way over here, and then
Okay.
draw like an end pose like right here, and then you could draw in between
Right.
these, like the ball going like that way.
It would seem kind of clunky, I guess, right? If you do it every
And
four,
it kind of just
six
goes,
frames. Right. Okay.
yeah.
That seems super easy. How you did it
Mm.
in just 2 seconds, but I don't know.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting.
So
And then
basically,
you
it's
kind
just
of
here on the timeline you have. So you have 30 frames there, right?
yes, I have 30 frames are visible. Right
Okay.
here is where you can set like your start frames, which is right here. It's at 0, and then the end frame is 100. So this animation would go on for 100 frames if I just press play. Like
Right.
it'll go all the way to 100, and it'll bounce back around.
Okay.
Mm.
And
I don't know.
let's say you want to do it like 100 frames. How long would that take you for something simple as a ball going from the left of the screen to the right of the screen, just
Mm.
bouncing, let's say maybe twice, and then exiting the screen?
Mm.
Yeah, for a beginner, or well, for you, I guess it would take much less time. But
Yeah. Um, for a beginner, um, for
oh,
me, it only take like 1 to 5 minutes
okay,
if I'm like just like you're doing a simple ball bouncing from like and then going to the end of the screen. For a beginner, if they're like trying to get it like right, the thing with animation is that like you don't really go slow or fast. You more so the like as a beginner. It's like say okay, so like say that I made the animation and then a beginner made the animation. The beginner's animation would probably look not as good. It
okay,
would look a lot less clean. It would kind of just be not like good to look at. If they wanted to make it look as good as mine, they probably have to spend more time on it, which is what I did. Like when I was first starting off, I would make the animation, I'd look at it and I'd be like, oh, that doesn't look very good. Let me go back over it, and I just changed more and more things, and that's kind of what made that took me so much time. But
right,
then as you get better, you kind of don't make those mistakes, and then you just end up making it whole.
right. Is there
Just kind of
something
one.
like because right now you're just animating a ball as a circle, as a sphere, and you're moving on. If you painted, say you wanted to paint it or you wanted to add a pattern to the ball, does that mean you have to add it on all of the frames, or is there a way to like copy and paste the pattern or some way like that?
Yes, there's a way to copy and paste the pattern. So like if you wanted to make like a symbol on the ball, or if you wanted to color in the ball,
Right.
I guess it kind of doesn't like matter which one, but
Okay. Let's
yeah,
yeah. Let's say
like if
you
you made like a
wanna
symbol.
yeah. So let's say you wanna do a logo. You're doing a
Mm,
Nike ball and it has to have the
yeah,
logo and then it's rotating and stuff. So
you can just like do that, and then where is it?
oh
You could
you
copy it,
okay
and then you could just go into like another layer and then paste it. Basically,
okay
the whole thing. But it varies with like the different programs and stuff. Like
okay
each program has their own way of doing things, so you kind of have to watch like tutorials and figure out how to use the program.
right.
But like the main like stuff, like the animation stuff, is the same.
All right.
The
I
principles
guess
and
you
things
could
like
like
that.
anchor it in a sort of way where like if you're no is that how it works? That you can anchor it and then it follows the whatever or that's not the
Um,
same.
with some programs, um,
Oh, okay.
what I've found in my like journeys
Mm,
is that anything you think that a program should be able to do, there's probably a program out there that can do it. Like Adobe Flash basically does, or Adobe Animate. It's not called Flash anymore, but
yeah.
Adobe Animate is like the standard. It's like the main. It's kind of like it's the program that every animator uses, every professional animator uses, that I know of, and it will do basically everything that you think a programmer should be able to do. Anything you can think of, like grabbing a symbol and then tracking it onto like a specific like object in the animation, it'll probably do everything that you can think of.
Okay.
But there's
Uh,
a lot like
yeah.
Like an example is like this one's free, so it's not gonna do like all those things. But
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Uh, we had some questions from the chat. We have a
Mm.
Fabsai says, how many hours does it take you to create an animation for your channel? So those, I guess, it depends, right? But
Yeah.
let's say one like your story, like the ones,
Mhm.
yeah,
Like the one I'm doing right now, kind of like I have like so I think the reason it's taking me so long right now is because I have like 6 different projects. I've
right,
got really bad ADHD. So I've got like 6 different projects going, and I'll just switch from each one and start finishing them. But when
right.
they are finished, they'll kind of like come out at the same time, and there'll just be a lot of content out there.
Okay,
But back before, like back in 2021, when I had like the most time, the most free time, it would regularly take me like I made a 15-second animation, and that took me like 2 days. It was detailed though, so I was like,
right.
and like the most popular one I have, the the white one, the greatest crime one or whatever. That one took me like 1 week to make. So
Okay,
it kind of varies. It depends on like the amount of like detail and how many frames I'm putting into it, how smooth I want the animation to be. Like, yeah.
right.
But if I'm focusing like just solely on it, then it won't take that long, I guess.
Okay. What about something like, for example, like the art block one, where the guy's trying to draw, and the art block like,
Oh, that one was so I made 7 animations, and it was like 1 week. So it's like so that animation specifically
hmm,
is in a playlist, and it's called like 1 week of animations.
oh,
And my plan was to post one animation every day. So that one took 1 day to make.
okay, all right, cool, nice. So you did like a sort of like a challenge, like,
Yes.
all
So
right,
I did like a challenge for myself. I was like, okay, make one animation every day for a week, and
nice,
then I posted
yeah.
every day.
And in these ones, I see like you're still going for like the realistic look, the
Mhm.
good anatomy and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
you're doing difficult stuff,
Yes, I I made a lot of like I drew a
right?
lot when I was younger.
And
I think I started like. Oh, sorry. Continue.
like this one, for example, like there's a where you start with the eyes and then you zoom in into the eyes, and then there's a guy
Mhm.
falling. I love that one.
Yeah,
That's that's kind of, you did that one also in one day.
I did.
That's crazy.
I stayed up all night. I stayed up all night for that one. But
That's
yeah,
kind of crazy.
I did.
Okay.
I was like, damn, I need to get this done like tomorrow morning, and I was like, just up all
All
night.
right. What time were you going to sleep those days, man?
Ooh, like 3 o'clock. My sleep schedule was pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
Whoa.
But I was up because I was like working on stuff. So
Okay. That one with the skull is excellent too. That one is such like a. I would bet that one is like a really good one for a company or something like that. You know, the
yeah.
way you bring out the skull.
Mm-hmm.
That's,
It starts like flipping around.
yeah.
That
That
one
one.
was definitely fun.
Yeah.
It was good.
That way you can make it into for like a drink company or something like that.
Yeah.
Chris draws ask like, do you have any suggestion for who wants to start doing animations?
Do I have any? I would say my advice for any like beginners is probably just practice. Watch some videos. Definitely look up some videos on YouTube.
Mm,
I remember I looked up a lot of videos on YouTube, and I would like study closely, like like any animation style that I liked. I would study it closely, and I'd look at the way that they moved, and I would like pause the frames in between, kind of just like see how they did it.
Mm,
And then I would try to like practice that and replicate it, and that helped me a lot.
right. Any favorite cartoons that you draw inspiration from?
Um, I can't say that there's any ones that I draw inspiration from, but I do have a couple of like favorite cartoons I used to watch when I was younger.
Okay.
I know some were like Adventure Time, regular
Oh,
show is a
nice.
good one. Hmm. I used to watch a YouTuber called Jaden Animations. He's really good.
Cool. I love regular
He
show.
Yeah, regular show.
Regular show
Mhm.
is awesome. And
Yeah.
yeah, my favorites are regular show and Rick and Morty.
Yeah, Rick and Morty. Yeah,
Yeah,
Rick and Morty is also really good.
yeah.
I would say that my style was just kind of built up from all the drawings that I did. Like
Right.
all of my like kind of art style was kind of just built from all the stuff I did.
Okay. And CL asks like any favorite animation project that you're working
That I'm working on.
on? Yeah.
Um, probably probably like the miniseries that I'm doing.
Right.
I like the yeah. I kind of just enjoy the story and stuff, and I got a lot of it done, but it's on my iPad, so I can't like really show it here.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay.
Um,
All right. Let's see if we can get that ball done.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay.
Keeping distracted.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Right here. Let's.
Let's see. So basically, you draw every 2 frames, right? And then
Yeah.
you say you would fill in those gaps, or it's not really necessary. It's just if you want to make it
Um.
smoother, right?
Yeah. It's not necessary. It's just kind of if you want to make it smoother.
Right. Or you
Um.
would, like you said, you would fill them in when the ball's slowing down, perhaps.
Yes. So the more frames around a certain area, the slower it'll be. The
Right.
slower the like right here. Oh, what did I do? What's that? Oh, okay. Guess I did. Got me. Okay, so like there's not very many frames when it's coming down because it's going really fast.
Right.
But then right here, there's a lot of frames because
Right.
it's suspended in midair, it's going slower, and it comes back down. Did I add in a blank frame right there? I did. Okay. And it bounces back up.
And this, like the Krita always shows you the last 2 frames that you did. Is that how you can see the red stuff there?
Yes. So here, let me. Okay, there you go. So right here is like the onion skin settings. The onion skin is the outline of like before, and you can kind of choose how many you want, all the way up to 10
Oh,
before and back. I usually just keep it at like one before and one after. That's how I usually like to work.
oh, one before, one after. Okay. And the previous frames are in red, and the next frames in green. Okay, I got it. All
Yes.
right. Team percentage. And then if you want to see more from previous, you just click on those, and it
Yeah,
shows
you
you
just turn
more.
up the slider over here.
Right. Okay, that's pretty useful. onion skins.
Mm.
Right.
So here's kind of like the whole thing.
Okay.
Oh, what the? It's like we're things paused over here. Oh yeah, okay, I see what's going on.
That's a good challenge. I would love to do that as a challenge.
It's a little
It's
weird.
I mean, it's easy. It seems easy when you do it, but
Mm.
let's see.
Yeah, it's when you've never done it before, it's difficult, but after you've done it,
Yeah.
it gets better.
What in Chris asks, what inspired you to make animations? And Fabsay says, looking how it's done, every frame, animators deserve a lot of admiration and respect. For sure. Like if you look, this is only a bouncy ball, but if you look
Yeah.
at the stuff that you're doing, you have a guy running, you have a story, so it's a whole different thing when
It's
you add a story to it.
yeah, and you're like making like
Yeah. And now you want to like represent something like emotions, like the guy is surprised or
like
angry,
moving,
or yeah,
like moving the eyes and stuff.
right,
So, so it's difficult. It starts out difficult.
right,
I can't say that well, animation has gotten easier, but I feel like the better you get, the more you put into the animation, and so it kind of ends up staying the same kind of difficulty. I feel.
right.
Mm. And between frames right here because it's not moving right.
Mm. Yeah, the skill. I feel like the skill is like the first part. Once you get
Mm.
good at it, then
Mm.
I guess the more effort goes into the story, right? What you really want to
Yeah,
communicate.
yeah,
That's where,
definitely.
yeah, yeah, that's where like some cartoons are successful and others aren't. Like for me, I see Rick and Morty, and like I can't for the love of me like come up with like how do they come up with such creative ideas? It's
Yeah,
yeah,
they're very their storytelling is on point. And then they
yeah,
animate those like stories and stuff, and it just kind of
yeah,
makes you.
yeah. This is kind of cool.
It's a little fast right here, but because I added too many. I started using Krita like I want to say like a month ago, so I'm not completely like used to it yet, but I'm
Okay.
definitely getting there.
And like, do you have a lot of problems like going from like from the iPad to the computer, or is it easy to adapt and stuff?
Um,
Like, have
it's
you?
definitely easier,
Yeah.
but the iPad and the computer are very different.
Right.
Like the with the drawing tablet that I'm using, the refresh rate
Yeah.
isn't as fast as on the tablet. But the
Right.
tablet doesn't have a lot of things that the computer has. So
Right.
it's a good sacrifice. It definitely worth it.
And So you've only used Krita, or have you tried like Adobe Animate and other stuff?
I have tried Blender before,
Oh,
Blender Grease Pencil.
okay,
So I have used Adobe Animate before, but that was like a while ago.
okay.
It was actually, let me see. I have a project that would be pretty cool to show you guys.
Okay.
See if I can get Blender open though, because it's acting weird on me. Mm. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. My Blender's not working, but
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna finish this little ball animation.
Right.
Definitely taking me way longer than it should. Way longer than I wanted it to, at least. Are you still there?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
Ah, yes.
All
I
right,
can hear you
cool.
now.
All right. I wanted to see if I could connect the tablet and start
Hmm.
trying to do that. But
Yeah.
yeah, nice. I'll definitely give this a try because I kind of see what you're doing,
Cool.
so I kind of understand a
Hmm.
little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wonder if I'll find the tools that I need for it. And
Are you using Krita?
no, but
Okay.
I'll try to install it. If not,
Hmm.
I'll try with Adobe Animate.
Yeah.
Yeah. The skin onion thing is I think is very important,
The what?
right? The skin onion, the onion skins.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Skin onion is very important.
yeah. I
I
guess
used to try
yeah,
to. Oh, sorry.
yeah.
Continue. It's okay.
I guess like you like Adobe Animate has something similar. I mean,
Oh, definitely.
yeah.
Every animation software has onion skins. Kind of
Okay.
like the norm. But I remember when I was younger, I used to try to animate without onion skins,
Okay.
and because I didn't know what they were, and I would use like it was like some weird bootleg way of like animating. I like took my I was using my sister's iPad at the time actually,
Right.
and I would use a drawing software, and I would just draw the frames on the drawing software. It wasn't for animation. It was a pain. Yeah, onion skins are very important.
All right. That's super cool. And then how do you go about like adding sound? Do you use it still inside of Krita, or do you go elsewhere?
You can.
Okay.
So Krita has an option for adding sound. You know, right here you just
Right.
put the audio in. You would import an audio. But what I usually do is I'll make the animation, and then I'll go into Final Cut,
Oh, okay.
or I'll go into LumaFusion. I use one of those two. I didn't used to use those, but I use those now. And I would just take the audio, and then I would put it into the animation. And I kind of just edit it how it need to be edited, so that it would like work.
Right. Yeah. Do you do the sound effects yourself, like, like or
um. Yes. Sometimes I'll do the like if it's an original video, if it's like my audio and stuff, because a lot of the
Right.
time it is on TikTok. But if it is, I'll try to like make the sounds myself. I'll use different tools and things like that to kind of replicate what the sound would sound like
Nice.
and things.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fun, definitely fun because I don't have to do it
Okay.
myself.
So you're playing around with the position there, I say.
Yeah,
You reposition some of them.
yeah. So the position is important to make it look the best it kind of can be, I guess. I'm noticing that some of this kind of looks, to me, it kind of looks a little wonky, so I'm kind of trying to make it.
Okay.
Mm.
Nice. So as it goes up, it's it becomes more round, right? Less squishy.
Yeah. So as it comes to like the top, and there's less gravity being like forced upon it, it becomes more round. And it becomes more like the actual shape
Right.
of like the ball.
What if
Mm.
it when you're drawing something like a punch, right? Uh,
Mm.
there's I guess the same principle. There's a lot of change from
Yes.
when the arm goes from the left to the right or something like that, right? Or
Mm. So if like the punch is just being punched into, hmm, what's the best way to like explain this? So if it's being punched into midair, it's not actually hitting anything.
mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of things in life, like with animation and stuff, to make it look more organic, it'll it'll come to its stopping point, basically, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this is the punch.
Right.
It'll come to its stopping point after it goes forward.
Right.
And every time you animate like something like that, you always kind of want to make it. You'll add one frame, one or two frames, depending on how fast your frame rate is, where it goes a little bit forward and then it comes back.
Yeah.
It'll go like one frame, one or two frames forward, and then it'll come back and rest in the position that it was in. So like there's the fist. Might as well just do it right now. It's moving. This is a quick example. Oh no, the ball's moving too. And it goes from point A.
Cool. Maybe he punches the ball.
To
He punches the ball when he comes up.
oh maybe yeah. Point A to point B. I'm trying to do this as fast as I can.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just leave it like that. Doesn't matter. This is an example anyway. It's like this is where the punch stops, right?
Right.
This is where the punch stops. But you'd add another frame where I gotta do just like that. This is where it would stop. But then you'd add another frame where it goes just a little bit forward. To go back to the select tool button every time. Goes just a little bit forward.
Right.
And then on the next frame, you'd bring it back again. So
Right. So it goes in and out a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
This is
So
super cool. Super interesting.
let's get it look kind of so it goes boop and then kind of just bounces back and then rests in the area and then comes back. And that makes everything look a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna leave it there soon.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if there's any more comments here. Looks amazing. We have some people say. Yeah. I'm super interested in this. I would love to see. I would love to try, and I look forward to seeing more of your animation, especially the ones that you're working on your stories.
Yeah.
And do it. Yeah, I'm sure you can do that leap pretty soon. And yeah, you're gonna be doing this for a long time, I think.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Hope I can finally get there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You can definitely like start working on your own cartoons. Don't just do only commissions and stuff. I think you can
Yeah.
just your
You
your
know,
own
I'm
art.
always gonna work on I'm always gonna work on my own stuff.
Right.
I'm gonna start making longer videos and start posting them on YouTube.
Okay.
So hopefully that will be
Yeah.
in good stages. Yeah.
All right. So that's what's coming for. Those are your plans for the near future.
Yes,
Keeping
I'm
up.
going to be posting a lot more on YouTube
Okay.
so I can like make longer videos.
Okay.
I have a pity I wasn't able to open Blender because I have this really cool project that would have been nice.
Oh.
I'll post a preview of it on my TikTok account today.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right, man. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and
Yeah,
maybe
it's
we
been a
can
pleasure.
do this again sometime. And
Yeah, no, absolutely. This was
all right.
fun.
And guys, go check out Ant L. Is that how you pronounce it?
So how I pronounce it is ALEL, but it kind of doesn't really matter.
L
Kind of
E L.
just
Oh,
as long as
okay.
you-
All right.
Mm.
I yeah. My native language is Spanish, so I read it as Al L.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
No, that's totally good. Mm.
Okay. All right. Awesome,
Either
man.
way is fine.
Okay. Wish you a lot of luck and talk to you next time.
All right, talk to you next time.
All right. All right. Goodbye, everybody. That's it for today.
Goodbye.
All right. Bye bye.